For lesson 8-7, you also needed to do the hot problems 60 and 62, and there were a few extra problems for you to do out of the textbook. I'm just going to quickly go over 60 and 62 to make sure you have those in your notebook. So on 60, it says write an inequality for the following sentence. So again, if you haven't picked up on it, this chapter is all about equations and inequalities and then translating words into equations and inequalities. So in this case, it asks you to translate it and then find three numbers that are possible solutions. So the quotient, division, right? A number and -5. So a number, x, and -5, there's the quotient, increased by 4, plus 4, is at most 8. Means it can't be over 8, but it can be less than or equal to 8. So there's your inequality from the words. Okay, now let's solve that by subtracting 4 and isolating the variable. We have x over -5 equals, not equals, less than or equal to 8 minus 4 is 4. Okay, then we're going to multiply by a -5 to isolate the x. When you multiply by a negative number with inequalities, you have to flip it. So we have x is greater than or equal to -20. Let's think about three numbers greater than or equal to -20. Let's think about the number 10. Let's check that. 10 is greater than or equal to 20. Let's put that up here. What's 10 divided by -5? -2. -2 plus 4 is 2. 2 is less than or equal to 8. That checks out. Okay. Let's check the number 15. What's 15 divided by -5? -3. -3 plus 4 is 1. 1 is less than or equal to 8. That checks out. And then 20. 20 divided by -5 is -4. -4 plus 4 is less than or equal to 8. All three of those check out. Okay. Had we not turned the sign around and left it as less than or equal to -20, let's go with -25. -25 is less than or equal to -20. Let's substitute that in. What's -25 divided by -5? That's +5. 5 plus 4 is 9, and 9 is not less than or equal to 8. So -25 would not work, thus proving why you need to flip the sign around. Okay, for 62, 20 more than, so 20 more than, half of a number, half of x, is at least 45, greater than or equal to 45. Okay, and then find the least number that meets this condition. So we're going to solve just like normal. Subtract 20, subtract 20. 1/2 x is greater than or equal to 25 times by 2 times by 2. X has to be greater than or equal to 50. Let's just double check that. Put 50 back in for x. What's 1/2 of 50? 25. 25 plus 20 is greater than or equal to 45. So 50 is the least number that meets this condition. Okay, moving on to section 8.8. In 8.8, you're going to be learning about the null or empty set and the identity property. We've talked about that before, but we're going to be solving multi-step equations and inequalities. In the middle of the page, you have example 1 that you can go through step by step, and it actually gives you the proof of each of those steps and which properties you're using. Make sure you don't miss those opportunities to go by step what's happening. Okay, I'm going to jump down here to example 1a. I have parentheses, so that immediately tells me I need to distribute. So I have 18m plus 18 equals 12m plus 12. Okay, now we're to a point where we have variables on both sides. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pick a side, it doesn't matter which one, equals 18m plus 18. I'm going to do minus 12m minus 12m. 12m minus 12m is 0. So I'm left with 12 equals 6m plus 18. Okay, then I'm going to minus 18 minus 18. Negative 6 equals 6m. Divide by 6, divide by 6, m equals negative 1. Okay? Seems like a lot of work, but as long as you're showing your steps and you understand each of those steps, it's going to become just like second nature. In 1b, we have parentheses, so we're going to distribute. Okay? 5n minus 15 equals 3n plus 21. Okay? Distribute. That's our first step. Our second step is variables on both sides. So I'm going to minus 3n minus 3n and get 2n minus 15 equals 21. Third step, plus 15 plus 15. 2n equals 36. Step 4, divide by 2, divide by 2. N equals 18. Okay, lots of steps there. That's why they're called multi-step equations. We're going to do several of these in class so you can really get the hang of these. But just know there's a process and a way to do this so that it really makes sense. And when you show your work, you can justify each of your steps. Example 2 has us looking at an equation where we get down to the bottom and we get something like 10 equals 10. Well, the statement 10 equals 10 is always true. So that means that the equation is an identity and that the solution set is all numbers. Any number will work. What do I mean by that? Let's pick a number for y. Let's pick a number like 3. Okay, let's put 3 in for y. Okay, what's 3 minus 5? Negative 2. Negative 2 times 3 is negative 6. Negative 6 plus 25 is 19. What's 3 times 3? 9. 9 plus 10 is 19. Okay, it doesn't matter what number you pick for y, you're going to always end up with something equaling itself, meaning it's an identity. Okay. Similarly, when we have an equation and we get down to something where something is not equal to each other, negative 14 is never equal to 6. That's never true, so it is the empty set. There's no number that will satisfy that equation and make it true. Okay, let's take a look at 2a. We're going to distribute first because I see parentheses. That's negative 6r minus 8 equals negative 5r minus 8 minus r. That was our first step, is to distribute. Second step, I have like terms. I have negative 5r take away r. That's negative 6r. Okay, look what we have on the left side, negative 6r minus 8. We have the same thing equaling each other, so this is actually identity. Okay, we can stop there because we have something equal to itself. On 2b, we have parentheses, so we're going to distribute. 14 plus 8w equals 32 plus 8w. And I can already tell this is an empty set because we have 8 times a number plus 14 equals 8 times that same number plus 32. It's not going to work out. Okay, there's no number that we're going to be able to solve. And I'll just show you here. Minus 8w minus 8w. On both sides, the w's cancel out, and we get 14 equals 32. That is not true. Okay, so a little experience with that. Now we'll take a look at some inequalities. Okay, inequalities work the same way with parentheses. We're still going to distribute if we see those parentheses. So we have 3 is less than 4x plus 8 minus 8 minus 8. Negative 5 is less than 4x. Okay, just because this is a negative 5 does not mean we need to switch the inequality sign. It's just if that coefficient is negative. Divide by 4, divide by 4, negative 5/4 is less than x. Could you write that as x is greater than negative 5/4? Absolutely. You could even change it to x is greater than negative 1 1/4. All of those are acceptable. In 3b, we have to multiply. 4b minus 12 is less than or equal to 72 plus 12 plus 12. 4b is less than or equal to 84. Divide by 4, divide by 4, b is less than or equal to 21. Okay, let me just turn on my answers there, and they are correct. All right, page 376. Example 4, again, is taking a word problem and translating that to an inequality. So Sophia recycled 3 pounds less than the amount that James recycled. Hannah recycled 3 times the amount that Sophia recycled. If they recycled a total of 53 pounds, how many pounds did Sophia recycle? So again, we're always going to have to start with a variable x. In this case, how many pounds does Sophia recycle? So I'm going to say S equals Sophia. Start with that, Sophia. Sophia recycled 3 pounds less than James. So James is actually going to be Sophia plus 3, right? If Sophia is S, then James was 3 more than Sophia, okay? Hannah said that she recycled 3 times as much as Sophia. So Hannah is equal to Sophia, but she's 3 times Sophia, okay? So what we have is Sophia S plus James S plus 3 plus Hannah 3S equals 53 pounds, okay? How many S's do we have here? We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5S equals, 5S plus 3 equals 53. Minus 3, minus 3. 5S equals 50. Divide by 5, divide by 5. Sophia S equals 10. So if Sophia was 10, that must mean that James has to be 10 plus 3, which is 13, plus Hannah, which is 3 times Sophia, that's 30. Does that equal 53? Yes, it does. Okay? It all starts with what your variable is going to equal. In this case, x is Sophia, y is Sophia, s is Sophia. And from that variable, you start building the rest of your equation. Okay? We have Sophia is 10 pounds. Finally, example 5, we have an inequality here, and they are multi-step inequalities where we have to distribute and we have variables on the same side. You just have to know those proper steps. Negative 2 times k is negative 2k. Negative 2 times 1 is minus 2. Is greater than negative 16 plus 5k. I am going to add 2k to both sides so I can get the variables on the same side. Negative 2k plus 2k is 0. Bring down the negative 2. Don't forget that negative sign. Negative 2 is greater than negative 16 plus 7k. Still trying to isolate that variable, so we're going to add 16 to both sides. Negative 2 plus 16 is 14. 14 is greater than 7k. Divide by 7, divide by 7. 2 is greater than k, or k is less than 2. All right, 5b. 3 times p, 3 times negative 6. We have 2p plus 5 equals 3p minus 18. Variables on both sides. Minus 2p, minus 2p. You might be saying, why didn't you minus 3p? I could have. Either one would have been fine. 2p minus 2p is 0. 5 is equal to 3p minus 2p is 1p minus 18. Add 18 so we can isolate that variable. 5 plus 18 is 23. And look, I've already forgotten that I'm doing an inequality and not an equation. So it's 23 is greater than or equal to p, or p is less than or equal to 23. Let's see what the answer he had. P is less than or equal to 23. That's fine, or this is fine. For k is less than 2, got it. It did say to graph it on a number line, so really quickly here, number line, here's the number 2. That's an open circle with an arrow going to the left. For this one right here, line, I really would like for you to have at least 3 numbers. So here's 22, here's 23, here's 24. That's a closed circle at 23 with an arrow going to your left. Hope that helps. I know I talk fast and we go through these very quickly, but I promise you we'll do lots of equations in class to make sure you're really proficient at solving equations and inequalities. Let me know if you have any questions.